Right guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm doing an early Premier League prediction. Now it's absolutely boiling. If you don't know, in the UK, the temperature today is around 38 degrees Celsius. So I'm not going to be spending the most time up here, and I'm sorry if the video is slightly erratic, but we're going to go with it. I've added some new lighting and everything, so hopefully the video looks even better, and we're improving day by day. I really do appreciate everyone for liking and subscribing to the channel. I honestly appreciate every single one of you that even watches a video, so thank you so much. Even if you do click off, I don't mind. Thank you for even clicking on the video in the first place. It means a lot to me. So today I'm going to be just going through my Premier League predictions and stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. So obviously I'm just going to start off with Bournemouth and Fulham. I do think Bournemouth is going to come below Fulham, mainly because Dominic Solanke is just worse than Mitrovic. That's all I'm really basing it on. Championship defences are bad anyway. Like they're both equally bad in my opinion. Obviously Fulham won the league last season quite easily, but I just don't think these two teams translate very well over to the Prem. And I was actually going to put Forest in there as well, but I've put Forest a bit higher because I really want Forest to do well. I love Forest a lot. Like, the club is amazing, and it's like a club that deserves to be in the Prem. However, there is a club in the Prem which I do think is going to get relegated, which is Everton. And I'm really sorry, Everton fans. Like, I really am. It's just like Frank Lampard, to me, he's not a manager that is going to keep you up. You know, he's just not. And I think the only way Everton survive next season is if they sack Frank Lampard, and I think that is quite a high possibility, and that's the only way I can see them getting out of it. And I think they could get out of it if they do that, but that's the issue of then they've got to sack a manager, right? So are they going to do it? Probably. Everton are quite well known for doing that. They also don't have a lot of money to spend. They haven't signed anyone this season yet, I don't think anyway, not anyone of note. They've sold Richarlison, and then they've still got to pay for all of their new stadium and everything. For Everton, I am quite scared for them and their future. How they're going to develop as a team under Frank Lampard, it's questionable. Dele Alli hasn't really performed. Obviously, Donny van de Beek's gone back to Manchester United. Calvert-Lewin is an injury concern every single game. The defence, that is someone they have signed, James Tarkowski. It's a good defender and could help them at the back. He's battled relegation before, I suppose, so he could be a good use. It's just debatable, really, isn't it? And I'm not sure how well Everton are going to do. Next, I do apologise to Leeds, but you're going to be down there again. In 17th place, in my opinion. I just don't think Leeds are very good. They've obviously sold Rafinha, who was their best player last season. And he was so instrumental for them staying up that obviously they kind of had a duty to let him go because he kind of kept them in the league and saved them a lot of money. But it's hard to say that anyone's going to do the level of scoring that he has done. They've signed quite unproven players in the Premier League, signed from Austria and the German League. Are they going to come out and contribute at the same level that Rafinha was contributing? It's possible Leeds could go down, and I really was thinking about it, but I wanted to go for a rogue shot of Everton. Everton and Leeds, and actually a lot of teams in this group, including Forest. But I've been trying to be nice to Forest because I think they'll be that one team that does a bit better and stays in the league. Nowadays, it always seems like there's two teams that from the promoted lot that get relegated almost instantly, and one of them usually stays up. But then I've got Brentford. I really love Brentford, but I don't think they're going to have a season as good as last time, especially losing Christian Eriksen. I'm not sure about how committed Tony is to the club. Obviously, there's been a few instances of people questioning that a bit. Tony's an amazing player and an amazing striker, and so I think he'll be fine. But I just wonder, are they going to get the creation needed to stay in the league next season? It's a hard one to say, isn't it, really? But we'll have to see what happens. Again, it's all a guessing game, isn't it, really? Will they have second season syndrome, or will they just be fine and continue playing and find a different creator who can do the same thing as Eriksen did last season? It's unlikely, but it is possible. Next, we're moving on to Southampton. Southampton, people don't like Southampton, and I think Southampton always recruit very well, and people don't give them the credit they deserve. I think in previous seasons, I've always thought Southampton are going to get relegated. Nowadays, I kind of respect Southampton as that 14th kind of club where they'll flirt with relegation and then have a good middle part of the season and be fine. That's usually how they perform. They aren't the best team in the world, but they manage, and one day they might just go down, like Burnley did. They were a steady club and then they just went down. But I really do like Southampton. If you saw the Badgers video, the Premier League Badgers video, you would have known I quite like their badge. So I wouldn't mind them staying up as well. Next we've got Brighton. Brighton are going to have a worse season than last season. They had an extremely good season last season, but in talks they might lose Cucurella. They need a striker. I don't know if that new guy, I can't pronounce his name, but if he's good, then they might do good. You never know. But I just think Brighton need a recognised Premier League striker to sort them out and get them into that top 10. But I just don't see it this season. It's just hard to imagine Brighton doing that well. 13th isn't bad for Brighton. They're usually flirting with relegation, so I've been quite nice, in my opinion. Brighton fans might disagree, but I think I've been quite nice to you there. Next, we've got Wolves. Wolves obviously had a bit of a bad end of the season. Couldn't really score any goals. They really need Jimenez to start scoring goals again. Whether he will after that injury, I don't want to put loads of pressure on him. I think Wolves will be fine. They've always got a good defence. Defensively, they're going to be fine. The new manager wave has kind of worn off now, and it's gone back to how Wolves kind of were. I do really like Wolves, but they're just not that exciting a lot of times. They've got a good team, so I don't think they'll do anything other than stay in mid-table. I think I put them a bit lower than they were last season, but I do like Crystal Palace and how exciting Crystal Palace are as a team. All of their young players are developing nicely, while Zaha's just in his prime. So I quite like the way they're structuring the club for Patrick Vieira to work around and do what he wants to do with his vision of a football club. And I really do appreciate what he's doing there. I don't see them doing that well. And it's quite a young and inexperienced team, so whether they'll live up to the success that people want from them is debatable, but I have put them mid-table again for me. Moving on to Aston Villa, I have put them there as well. Aston Villa are a decent team. They obviously didn't perform as well as they should have last season. I do quite like Steven Gerrard compared to Frank Lampard. They made some really good signings this summer. Yeah, so I'm saying a top 10th. That's not bad for Aston Villa, and I think a lot of Aston Villa fans wouldn't be angry at that. It's progression, that's where they want to get to, and they're an ambitious team, so I think they'll get to where they want to get eventually if they keep spending the money that is needed. And then we've got Newcastle. Now, Newcastle has spent a lot of money, and people are expecting them to challenge with some of the biggest teams in the world. Like, you're not going to be able to challenge for top 6 yet. You've just bought Nick Pope. Like, I'm sorry, lads, it's not going to be that easy. They're on about signing a few players around Europe, which are exciting, but I don't see it happening yet. Maybe if they can break that top 10, then they can maybe get some more exciting players in the door. It's possible, but I just see them coming 9th, and that's just my opinion. West Ham are going to have a drop-off, mainly because of Europe. The team that I think is going to get that Europa Conference League spot is going to be Leicester, mainly because it's between West Ham and Leicester for me. Mainly because West Ham have Europe. I'm also a Leicester fan, so I'm obviously just going to pick Leicester. That's the main reason why I've done that there. But I just think the Europe factor is going to push West Ham down a bit, in my opinion. It's possible that it won't, but I think it will. The next one is Manchester United, which some people are saying, oh, Man United are going to come like 7th or 8th. I don't think it's that bad, guys. Let's not go overboard. Okay, it's Manchester United, still the biggest club in England, let's be honest here. And even if they're not performing to the level everyone thinks they should be, they're still a top 6 team, right? They came 6th last year, and it was one of the worst years in their history in their football history. So I don't see them coming any lower than 6th. However, the teams above them, I think, have got a pretty strong hold on that position until they sign quality players such as Frankie de Jong, another striker. Although Martial has been playing well in pre-season, so I don't know. I don't watch Manchester United pre-season games really. So if you are a Man United fan, let me know in the comments who's the best players in the team so far and who is Ten Hag really liking at the minute. I'd assume Martial because I think he's done really well so far, but as I say, I haven't watched many. This one's going to annoy people. I'll put Chelsea at 5th. Now, this one's a toss-up for me. Arsenal or Chelsea could come 5th. It's a toss-up. Chelsea obviously have the better quality. However, I do quite like Arsenal's team mentality and how they play as a team. Like, it feels a lot more like a club. Chelsea kind of feel like a lot of good players, and hoping that they'll just work because there are a lot of good players. I just have put Arsenal fourth. This may be the worst decision I've made because you shouldn't ever put your faith in Arsenal. But I really like Arsenal's team, a lot of young players and a lot of great talent, and they're doing really well. And I think they're going to have a great season next season. This one's also going to annoy people that I've put Liverpool third. I'm really sorry, right? You've lost Mane, and I can't overlook that. Even if you have signed Nunez, that doesn't mean, and it doesn't make up for the fact that you've sold one of the best players in the world. It doesn't make up for it, guys. I'm really sorry, but Tottenham are going to have a better season than you. Like, I really am sorry. Tottenham are going to come second. Tottenham are going to come second. Like, they're signing great players. They've got an amazing manager. You've lost one of your best players that is honestly one of the best players in the world. You've lost him, so I don't see how you expect to compete with these sort of players. When you had a down season the other season, you barely came fourth, and you can't really complain with third. I'm sorry. I don't think Liverpool are going to come second, and I think Man City is obviously going to come first. As we've made in previous videos, Man City are the most unstoppable team in Premier League history. There's no stopping this team, and there never will be. You cannot stop Man City. They've got the best team in the world, and if they don't win the Champions League at some point soon, it's a travesty, right? It doesn't make sense how good their team is and how good their young players are. If you see like how good their young players are, bedding them in as well slowly like they did with Phil Foden, this team is going to be scary for the next 10 years. Honestly, I'm scared for the future of English football. It does not look good. But that is the tier list, guys. If you have enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a like. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would also be amazing. I'm actually on 3 subscribers on each of my channels, and that is amazing. I'm extremely happy with how it's going, and if anyone else wants to subscribe to the channel, I'd also really appreciate that. I also do have a basketball channel if you love basketball, just like me as well. So if you would like to subscribe or even watch a video from that channel, see what you think. But yeah, that is the end of the video, guys, and thank you so much for watching.